Hello everyone. In our previous session, we have studied regarding the creating an optimal information architecture. In that, we have completed several points. Before starting our today's session, which is related with the same topic, I would like to discuss regarding our previous session. So, let us start with the previous session first. In our previous session, we have started with the analogy. We have taken the example of cabinet. Each cabinet contains drawer, or we can say drawer is stored inside the cabinet. Inside each drawer, folder is placed. Each folder contains the single copy of any file, and each file contains the number of documents within the file. So, from this cabinet we are able to easily retrieve the required documents which is located inside the file, and file is kept inside the folder is stored inside the drawers, and drawer is kept inside the cabinet. So, in this way you are able to get or receive the files which are already stored inside the drawer. Each file must contain the single copy, or we can say unique copy of your document which is located within the particular spot. So, if structured hierarchy is there, at that time you can easily retrieve the number of documents which is stored inside the particular location. So, when clear navigation is there, at that time you are easily able to retrieve the pages, as well as that site can be considered as a good site. And suppose you are providing a good navigation, so with the help of navigation structure you are easily able to get into the particular pages, and you can easily create the traffic on the website. Now, we have taken the example of a person who is seeking an apartment on the University Road, and the place is Rajkot. So, for that you just navigate into the city called Rajkot. From that city you just need to choose housing and apartments. In that tab you just need to click on 2 bedrooms, and at last you need to select 2 bedrooms with roof space from the list. So, in this way you can navigate within the website. Over here we have seen the figure which is related with the filing cabinet, and which can be considered as a number of web pages within the website. And we have whatever the example we have taken over here can be considered as a cabinet, then drawer, then folder, then file and document. In the cabinet, as from our example, you can replace it with the rajkotcity.com or .org, whatever the domain name you can use, that is called fully qualified domain. Then primary site category contains housing information. In that tab you just need to click on the apartment for rent, which is considered as a secondary site category. Then territory site is there. In that tab you can select 2 bedroom apartments, and at last you are able to get 2 bedrooms near Kalawad Road. So, in this way you are able to use the cabinet, drawers, folders, files and document concept. Now, when you are going to apply the strategy of SEO into the information architecture, at that time you need to create your web pages in a way that with the help of by performing few clicks you are able to get or receive the pages. One page must contain less than the 100 links within the page. So, when you are going to apply the link within the page, and if it is more than the 100 number of pages, 100 number of links, at that time it may create some problems. So, when you are going to develop the pages, at that time you need to take care that one page must contain less than 100 links, so that crawler can easily retrieve those pages and can easily give the index to those pages. And you need to display the flow or structure from home page to the category pages or detailed pages. So, that is called semantic flow, which represents the links between home pages to the category pages or from the category pages to the details pages. Site architecture design principles represents when, see, you have developed one website, and when user is going to visit your website, at that time that people might get confused and certain question may raise in the mind of user, like where to go, what to do, and how to find the required documents. So, for that, site architecture design principles are there. With the help of site architecture, you can easily solve the given problem which raise in the mind of user, or we can say the customers. So, using site architecture, search engine can get the view of different content pages which you have developed within the site. First of all, we have seen the example of recipes. Recipe contains the all the information, or we can say all the pages which are connected with the main tab, or we can say you have developed your website in such a way that fulfills the expectations of visitors, and once the expectations of visitors has been fulfilled, in those cases positive browsing experience is created, and once the customer is positive regarding your website, at that time you will definitely get good traffic on the website. Now, refer the figure over here. Recipe contains 3 different tabs on the first level, that is by cuisine, by ingredients, and by meal. By cuisine contains French, Italian, and Spanish. See, this figure represents structured site architecture designing site. Now, this process, when you are going to perform the creation of any website, at that time you just need to follow certain protocols through which you are easily able to develop the website. Say for example, first of all you need to list out all the necessary content pages. Now, what are the content pages of your website? Say for example, your home page gives the information regarding the particular website. So, that can be considered as a content page, or any pages like blog post is there, or articles are there, or any product information detail is there. These all types of pages are considered as a content page. So, first of all, when you are planning to develop any website, at that time you just need to list all the necessary content pages regarding the website. After that, what you need to do, you need to create the top level navigations, like generally the top level navigations are the unique type of pages regarding the website. After that, you need to use detailed content pages, and at last you need to use last or third level pages which are connected with the website. And at last, if your website contains secondary pages, what pages are considered as the secondary pages? Suppose you want to provide the information about copyright information, or you want to give the details of contact, right? At that time, these all pages are considered as a non-essential part or pages of your website, and such pages are considered as a secondary pages, and that can also be listed using secondary pages. So, first of all, when you are going to plan your website, at that time you need to use, or you need to list out content pages, you need to list out top level navigations, then top down level navigations, then detailed navigations. At last you need to list out secondary pages. So, when you follow this type of structure, at that time you can easily develop the website. Over here we have considered the second example of structured website, right. Home page. With the home page you are having the number of pages like location, about the safe, that is the informational page only, then menu, then reservation, event and contact. Event is connected with one new module which is called large groups, and menu is connected with 3 pages which is called brunch, lunch and dinner. So, this is the second example which represents structured site informational architecture. Now, last we have seen category structuring. Category structuring is nothing but you can create any warehouse which contains common patterns. Now, what type of pattern you can put inside warehouse? Say for example, when you find semantic relationship between the pages, at that time you can cover the related topic to the particular keyword. Over here we have taken the example of dog. Dog can be considered as a pet, or we can say when people are going to search with the keyword like 4 legs, at that time the information or pages which contains the keyword like dogs or animals or canine can be displayed in front of the crawler or in front of the search engine. So, that is called category structuring. So, this is all about our previous session. Now, let us begin with our today's session, lecture number 6. First is called creating broad to narrow topical relevance. I would like to show this point practically first. Let me perform the practical. See over here, when you click on the my computer or this PC, at that time in the left side of navigation bar, when you click on a particular navigation, at that time you can expand as well as you can collapse such category, right. So, that is called broad to narrow. This is called broad list of the category. When I want to apply narrow category, at that time I can click on this particular tab, and when I click on that it will become narrow. So, on the navigation menu also, creating broad to narrow topical relevance means what? Naturally, this pattern of relevance based on scoring extends from one single relationship between the documents to the entire category of website. That means, when you are going to perform the broad to narrow navigation, at that time when I click on, say for example, this PC, it contains a list of items which are located within the this particular page. So, in the website also, when user is going to click on a particular pages, at that time you will get all the relevant pages which are connected with this particular link. Now, suppose I am going to click on the quick access, at that time I will get list of folders as well as list of files which is located within the quick access. So, this is called broad to narrow navigation. So, this is a pattern of relevance based scoring where single relationship between documents to the entire category. Entire category means this PC can be considered as an entire category, and you are having relationship between the this PC, and in that way they are going to show the output. Now, site creator can best take advantage of this by building hierarchies that flow from broad encompasses subject matter down. When you click on the arrow, it will expand the data more detail, you will get more detail, and the specific content. Specific content means what? The content which is kept inside the particular folder. Now two words are there, taxonomy and ontology. Now taxonomy is what? When you want to give, or when you want to create a model in the two dimensional hierarchical structure. Now see, for what purpose model is created? For the architecture of site, right? It represents the architecture of your website with the help of taxonomy. So taxonomy is such through which you are able to create two dimensional hierarchical model of the architecture of your website. And what is the word ontology? Ontology is nothing but when you want to look in the mind of customers. That means when you want to see that in what way human are thinking, right? That is called ontology. So it is a more complex than taxonomy, because you need to think on the way how human are going to think, and on what way they are going to visit your website. After visiting your website, what are the thinking of human's mind, what are the things which kept inside human mind, right? That psychology you need to understand, and that concept is known as ontology. So because a large number of relationship type can be involved, so one of the effective technique is called ontology, or we can say card sorting, through which you are able to read the mind of customer. And once you are getting, or you are thinking the way user thinks, the way user is going to perform in the website, at that time you will definitely give the customers what they want, or you will definitely satisfy the requirement of the customers, right? And once the requirement has been fulfilled, at that time you will definitely get a good traffic on the website. So taxonomy and ontology are both the words which can be used. Taxonomy represents two dimensional hierarchical structure of your website, and ontology is called mapping of human minds, the way they are going to think on a particular area or particular topic. Um, Let me read out the points which are related with the taxonomy or ontology. In designing a website, you should also consider its taxonomy and ontology. The taxonomy is essentially a two-dimensional hierarchical model of the architecture of website. You can think of ontology as a mapping of the way the human mind thinks about a topic or area. It can be much more complex than taxonomy because a larger number of relationships types can be involved. One effective technique for coming up with the ontology, that is called card sorting. So just keep in the mind, the taxonomy and ontology are the two words. Taxonomy represents two dimensional hierarchical structure regarding the website, and ontology represents the way how human mind thinks, and based on that you can apply the card sorting, and which is more complex than the taxonomy. Creating broad to narrow topical relevance is nothing but the pattern through which you can, when you are going to click on a particular category, at that time you will get the expanded form of that category, and when you want to click on a particular category, and when you want to close that subcategory, in such cases you can use broad to narrow topical relevance, and it can be based on the hierarchical structure of your website. Next is called the flat versus deep architecture regarding the website. Now see, there are two cases or two architectures regarding the website which represents the search engine friendliness. Once your search is friendly or you have created the website based on the user's mind, or when your search is user friendly, at that time you will definitely get good traffic on the websites. There are two types of sites you can create, or there are two types of architecture you can use. Number one, flat site architecture. Number two, deep site architecture. I would like to share one figure which represents flat file architecture and deep file architecture. Then we will discuss the second point. See, this is a deep file architecture in which you are able to see that pages which are connected with the website are totally messed up, and you are not able to get those pages or retrieve those pages. It is very much difficult to retrieve the number of pages out of this particular website. But yes, if flat site architecture is there, at that time it can be managed using the categorical structure, or it represents the structured navigation of your website. So in this, individual link is given with the home page. In this we have represented with the categorical structure in the flat file architecture. So we can say that from the flat site architecture we can easily retrieve the data or information which is kept inside the website. Flat site requires a minimal number of clicks to access any given pages. Say for example, if I want to reach at this particular pages, at that time 1, 2 and 3 clicks has been performed to found particular page. But naturally when deep site architecture is there, at that time you need to perform five different clicks to reach on the particular location. So when flat site architecture is there, you just need to perform few clicks, and with the help of that you are able to access the pages. Whereas deep site architecture is there, it creates a long path of links which requires to access the detailed content of page. So deep site architecture as well as flat site architecture are totally different points, and you can differentiate the concept of flat file versus deep file. But when you want to provide search engine friendliness, or when you want to create such kind of site which provides user friendliness, at that time you can prefer the concept of flat file architecture. Because in the flat file architecture you can easily retrieve the pages which are stored inside the website by performing very few clicks from the home page. But when deep site architecture is there, at that time you need to perform many steps to reach on the particular document. Now next is called avoid pagination. Pagination means what? See, sometimes it may be possible that when you are going to refer some website, at that time, see, your page is contains different kinds of links. Like, see, if my website contains 99 pages, right, at that time 1, 2, 3, in this way the number of pages has been listed at the bottom of the page, and this concept is known as pagination. And over here it represents on which page out of 99 pages I am on the, this represents the current page, right, on which I am presently working. So pagination structure is what? When there are many number of pages which has been developed in the particular website, and when you want to refer those pages, at that time with the help of pagination you can refer. But remember one thing, that pagination structure is the limitation of crawler. Why? Because crawler can only identify this first page, right, but after that 99 mm, out of 99 pages 98 pages cannot be identified because you have overlapped that pages, right. So we know that the pages which are overlapped, we have taken the example of login form in our previous videos, like, right. At that time I have told you that the page which is behind the any form, right, like login form, at that time crawler cannot identify that what you have put it inside the or after the login form. So similar concept is applied over here. Pagination structure you can apply in the website, but remember one thing, that is the limitation of crawler. Crawler cannot identify the pages which you have placed behind the any pages. Over here let me read out the points and then we will discuss if certain points are skipped. Paginations, the practice of creating a sequence of phrases to break a long list of elements or long articles. So if your article is long, at that time when you want to break the pages, with the help of pagination concept you are able to break the sequence of pages, and you can create the sequence of pages. That means you can put one page inside the other and other inside the third one. For example, if you are working with the e-commerce website, you need to use the concept of pagination to show the product catalog that have more products than the wish to show on a single page. See, nowadays we people referring many online e-commerce website which represents different kinds of product, right. Say for example, if one website is there which shares the product for the woman clothes, right. So at that time there are a number of images you need to show in the particular website, right. At that time what you need to do, you just need to use the concept of pagination, in which you can divide the images in the number of pages, because it is difficult to show all the products in the single page. So that is the problematic for many reasons. First is called pagination, which provides no topical relevance. Pagination can be used when topical relevance is there, or as well as when there is no topical relevance. In those cases also you can use the concept of pagination. Now with the help of pagination you can easily create duplicate content or be indicative of poor quality pages. So remember one thing, that if your website contains poor quality of pages, or you want to put some duplicate content, or which contains or which is available on the other website also, at that time you can use the concept of pagination. Remember one thing, what is the first case when to use pagination? When there is no topical relevance, right. You have produced some content which is not based on the particular keyword or particular topic, and you want to give it to the user, right. So that can be placed inside the pagination. The second is what, when pagination can be used, when you want to produce duplicate content which is already available in the website, right. So if you put it on the front, at that time crawler is going to crawl those pages, and such content can be considered as a duplicate content. But yes, if it is kept inside the concept of pagination, at that time it is difficult for crawler to crawl those pages, or your page contains poor quality of content. That means your page does not contain proper content of the particular topic. Such content can be placed inside the pagination concept. And last, pagination can create spider traps, and having hundred or thousands of unnecessary or low quality of pages can be unfavored to search visibility. Remember one thing, then with the help of pagination you can easily trap the spider, right. With the help of pagination, when spider is trapped, right? At that time what happens, you can give the spider to the hundreds of low quality pages which does not contain any proper concept or which does not contain any proper concept, because crawler cannot see those pages, or crawler cannot understand that spider can be trapped in this way with the help of the concept of pagination. So in this way you can easily trap the spider. So you need to avoid the concept of pagination while you are going to develop the website. Remember one thing, that we are still in the concept of creating an optimal information architecture. In that we are going to discuss the given points, right? And if it is asked in the exam maximum of the 5 mark, at that time you just need to write certain points regarding each topic, right? But I want to elaborate regarding the topic, that's why I am going to explain the large theory regarding particular concept. So avoid pagination is such in which spider can be trapped, and you can provide the spider to the hundred of low quality pages which contains the which contains irrelevant topic, which contains duplicate content. And when you are going to create low quality of pages, at that time pagination can be used, but you need to avoid it in the website. This point I have already explained. The particular website contain approximate 99 pages, and this is the concept of pagination. This represents the current page in which you are presently working, and here is the list of pages which contain, on which you can directly click and you will get output in the content area. This is called the pagination structure of your website. And last is called search engine site navigations. Search engine site navigations is nothing but when you are going to create your website, at that time you need to navigate with the help of proper structuring design. So you need to design your website in a such a way that you need to perform navigation structure. When you are going to plan your website, when you want to design your website, you need to apply good thoughts or efforts, and you need to design your website with the proper navigation structure, so that user can easily navigate within the website and they are easily able to get the pages which are available on the website. Still 2 points are there within this point, creating an optimal information architecture, which we are going to discuss in our next video. This is all from my side. This is all. Goodbye everyone.